if you were, say, born with superpowers, like a mutant gene,
Mhm.
or there was a lab accident and you were bestowed superpowers, would you feel a responsibility to fight crime, to act on those powers, to use that gift?
I think my part of me wants to say no, but the other part of me, which is the strongest part, the good part, says yes. I would use it for good. I would
Okay.
help people.
Let's say you don't have superpowers.
Hmm.
Have you ever considered being a crime fighter? Like what would it take for you to hit the streets, fight crime as a costumed vigilante?
What would it take? Oh
Yeah.
man, I guess something major would have to happen in my life. I guess I don't know. Lose somebody, maybe.
Interesting. Well, I asked because I want to talk about I want to have this conversation. I want to talk about a film by James Gunn, his 2011 dark, strange superhero comedy, Super. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a Film by Podcast. I am Jeff Johnson.
I'm David Burns.
Dave, thank you for joining us today. Co-host Brad Kozo has got some technical difficulties. He's working on them, but you swooped in
I did.
to the studio like you do, and said, "I'll save the day, and I'll co-host." So
And I'm always happy to be here, man. It's always a good
yeah,
time. It's always fun.
always awesome to have you. I love what you and Scott are doing on a film at 45. By
Oh,
the
I
way,
love it. Thank you. I love
yeah,
every minute of that, man. Really do.
yeah, fantastic stuff. We are talking about James Gunn today.
Hmm.
Obviously, everyone knows he is the co-CEO. He's the head honcho for DC now. We got a whole new lineup of DC superhero films coming, and I know we'll get into that later on.
Oh yeah.
Before we get into it, let's start with today's sponsor, if you will. I want to throw a shout out to James Buckley. Dave, this amazing guy, several episodes ago, we read a review, Apple review, uh, which hailed us as a binge-worthy podcast. Uh, a lot of great things said, and the person responsible is our newest patron, who recently joined our Patreon and signed up. And we've got some fun things happening this month, thanks to Mr. James Buckley.
Yeah. Thanks, James. Good job. Some people might be confused with what Patreon is. Can you kind of explain that to me? Because I know when I first heard it, I was like, what is that?
Absolutely. A Film by Podcast now has its own Patreon where we are providing exclusive bonus content. So far, we have got 4 episodes out there. One, actually, I wouldn't call it an episode, Dave, because Brad and I did our first audio commentary
Oh, nice.
track. So, for fans of the 1986 classic April Fool's Day,
Hmm.
you can now watch the film with audio commentary by Brad and myself, which was a lot of fun. You
That's
and I got to
awesome.
do one. You and I have got to do one of those things.
Heck yeah. I'm totally
It's
jealous.
awesome.
I'm
Yeah.
jealous.
And then because you can't keep a good series down, 1986 has risen, so to speak. And we got a couple. There's like 3 episodes already on the Patreon that are 1986. What we're calling the lost episodes of 86, if you were. So for fans of 1986, if you want more of that limited series, which Dave, I know you were a big part of,
Yeah. And it's the
uh,
year that keeps popping up.
the year that keeps popping up, right? Yeah. But that's on the Patreon for as little as $3 a month, Dave. You get access to all of the bonus content.
Nice.
And, we'll for $3 a month, we'll send you a couple of our a film by Podcast Stickers. There's like 3 different ones now. Speaking of that, James has actually he is at the top tier. He is at the producer level.
Nice. Good job, James.
Which, yeah, so he has got the stickers, he's got the t-shirt, he's got the color changing stadium cups. He gets to choose his own episode for the Patreon, which he has told us he's made his request. And James, that will definitely be hitting Patreon this month. We're going to be doing a special episode for him.
All right.
And as a producer, Dave, he now has a say in a future director that we're going to talk about on the show. So, like I said, different levels, from anywhere from $3 to $20. You call the shots. And fortunately, James has great taste. So the film that he has chosen for us to cover is awesome.
All right.
But, I'm just waiting for some prankster to sign up and then just be like, yeah, I'm going to make him watch this terrible movie. But hey, that's what producers do, right?
Can I put it out there? Iron Eagle 2. Let's do it. Let's do it. Come on, somebody. Sign up and do it.
Oh my God. You really? Oh my Lord. Iron Eagle 2. Jesus. Oh, okay. Well, we'll more on that later. Dave, let's talk about James Gunn's film Super.
Let's do it.
I have to believe not a lot of people know about this one, because I've asked a lot of people about it, and everyone kind of gives me the confused look. No one's seen this. Can you tell us a little bit about what Super is?
I can. First, I want to say I'm in that bucket. I had not seen this movie. So I went into it cold, did not know anything about it. And wow. Okay. So let me get a little synopsis of this movie. Frank has 2 things that were perfect in his life: his marriage to Sarah and the time he pointed to where a criminal had gone to help a pursuing police officer. For most of his life, he was picked on and bullied. Nothing went his way. Well, things continued to go downhill from even into adulthood. Frank also had visions throughout his life: Jesus on his bedroom wall, and a childhood friend being a demon. And then on one fateful day, he has the vision of all visions, the finger of God touching his brain. With his wife, Sarah, leaving him to go with Jock, he now turns to making changes in his life, even if that means continuing to fry cook by day and becoming a superhero known as the Crimson Bolt at night, or whenever the time felt right. Prepare yourself for a crazy, violent, and one of the strangest superhero films you will ever see.
Absolutely. This movie, I'm going to go I'll go ahead and say it. There's definitely some themes. There's definitely some language used.
Oh, yeah.
That's not appropriate. The movie is incredibly violent.
Yes, and some very uncomfortable scenes.
Yes, some very uncomfortable scenes. This movie, I would say, could easily offend people, even when it doesn't mean to.
Mm-hmm.
Again, with some of the language that you use, you got it's 2011 when this comes out, so I feel like some of the language was like, frowned upon, but maybe still socially acceptable. Definitely
Right.
not acceptable by today's standards, and it never should have been acceptable. But it is what it is. This movie, like you said it's strange. This is a strange superhero film, right?
It is. And Jeff, people look stupid when they cry.
Yeah. Oh, let's jump right into the cast, because Rainn Wilson as Frank Darbo.
Yeah.
He's our hero. This is the guy that loses his wife, the beautiful Liv Tyler, loses her to scumbag drug dealing Kevin Bacon, and decides to become a vigilante, a crime fighter. So I know we'll talk about recommendations at the end of this, but I have to know, like, you watched this for the first time recently.
Yeah.
What's your initial thoughts?
So I get through this movie and I had to stop and think about, what did I just watch? What just happened in this movie? And no, I really liked it. It was fun. It was a little crazy at times. It reminds you of Kick-Ass a little bit, and in a way. Yep. Just a little right instead of left is what this movie does. So, Yep.
Yeah, Rainn's sensational in this. I mean, everyone knows him. I think his go-to performance is probably most likely Dwight Schrute from The Office. Everyone knows him as Dwight Schrute.
Yep.
I love when this guy shows up in a genre movie like this. When he showed up in Rob Zombie's The Devil's, what was it? House of a Thousand Corpses.
House of a Thousand Corpses. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's amazing as Dwight Schrute, but he's
Mhm.
more amazing when he's just being in anything else. I feel like I loved him in this.
He really did a good job of playing weird, but he also did a good job of playing broken and shattered from like torments of life.
Oh gosh, I mean, I kind of feel like this movie puts you through a couple different emotions. Like
It
and
does.
some parts you're like you're laughing, some parts you're taken aback, you're kind of shocked,
Hmm.
and then other times you're kind of heartbroken for this guy. He does play a broken individual
Yeah.
really well, I
Yeah.
think.
And you get to a certain point with this character too. You're almost like, what are you doing, man? You've gone over the line that you shouldn't be doing, especially when he meets Libby, and
Yep.
Libby becomes a part of it. And you're like, then you see what both of them are doing together, and then he finally realizes this isn't right, you know. So, but and we'll talk a little bit more about how the movie ends and stuff like that, because I one of my favorite parts of this movie is the ending of the movie and what it
Okay.
means, and we'll talk about
Okay.
that.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned Libby, who plays like the sidekick character.
Hmm.
Elliot Page, brilliant in this performance. I
Brilliant.
think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is way before Umbrella Academy.
Hmm.
Um, so it's just fun to see Elliot Page chewing up the scenery, right?
When you meet at the comic book store,
Yeah. Yes.
and just
Oh
how
man.
awkward that character is, and it just matches Frank's character, even though Frank didn't see it at first. Later on, he finally realizes, all right, maybe I do need a sidekick. And they work well together to a certain degree because Libby
Yeah.
is still way out there.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned the way they are. Like Libby definitely socially awkward in the sense
Hmm.
that Libby says things. There's no filter, right?
No, none.
Um, and then Frank, very socially awkward, just
Hmm.
doesn't know how to talk to people at all.
Right.
So to see
At all.
to see this, yeah, to see them coming together as like this is going to be the crime fighting team
Hmm.
is fantastic. And I know we're talking about cast, so a quick shout. Please tell me that you recognized the jerk in the comic book store in the back.
No, I didn't. Who was that?
He's actually from Peacemaker. He plays Economos on Peacemaker.
Oh,
Like
okay.
their tech guy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know who you're
Um,
about. I
what
did
am I
not
wanting to say?
realize that.
Yeah, Steve Agee. I
Okay.
think I'm saying that right. I hope I'm saying that right. If he's listening, apologies if I'm not saying it right. But yeah, that's 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 him. That's Economos. So
That's
you know,
hysterical.
and that's just that's James Gunn who finds a great group of people to work with, and he's going to
Hmm.
work with them throughout his entire career. This
And
is
you see it.
2011,
Yeah.
and now we're in 2023 with the Peacemaker, and
Yeah.
these guys are still working together. So,
Yeah. I mean, even in Guardians of the Galaxy, you see a lot of these people popping up. I mean, his brother
oh gosh,
Sean,
yeah, yep.
you've got Michael Rooker.
Michael Rooker, he's definitely a go-to guy
Oh yeah.
for James Gunn,
Well, Michael
definitely
Rooker plays
because
a great henchman. He really does, man. No matter what.
he does. It's odd because this is kind of a smaller role for Michael
Hmm.
Rooker, especially at this point in his career.
Right.
He's like the lead henchman, but he also kind of has. I like that Michael Rooker takes the opportunity to show that he has a conscience. There's a
Hmm.
couple scenes, where you can see like, what he knows what they're doing is wrong.
Yeah.
He doesn't like it, but he's listening to his boss,
Yep.
kind of a thing.
Yeah. You see it play on his face at times. You are correct. And then he feels uncomfortable at times. But you're right. He's getting paid by a boss, and he's got to do what he wants. It's that simple.
It is that simple.
Hmm.
So Rainn Wilson, Elliot Page, the lovely Liv Tyler. Were
Oh
you
gosh,
surprised to see her
I
in a role
was.
like this,
I
Dave?
really, yes, I was.
I mean, because it's not your typical female lead
Mm-mm.
at all.
Not at all.
Yeah, half the movie she's kind of just incoherent and drugged
Hmm.
out. She's because she's a recovering addict who succumbs to the wiles of Kevin Bacon. And she's like a hostage throughout the whole thing, and that's what sets Frank on his mission to
Hmm.
to save his wife.
Right. And she played
Uh,
it well, because I'm telling you, I don't know how easy it is to play. It looks like you're drugged out of your mind, but she did a really good job with that.
yeah. You mentioned Sean Gunn already. He
Mhm.
another one of the henchmen. Another couple other small cameos in this. You got Linda Cardellini.
I was surprised by that. The pet in the pet store.
Yeah, she's in there for like 1 minute.
Yeah.
Uh, I always love when Nathan Fillion
Oh gosh,
is with James
yes.
Gunn. What'd you think of the Holy Avenger?
The Holy Avenger. Like when that commercial came on, I'm like, what the hell is this?
He's he's at home. He's watching the All Jesus Network. Nathan Fillion plays the Holy Avenger, who is he's got one of the goofiest superhero costumes of all time, but it's like a very much a spoon fed, this is why sin is wrong, and
Yep.
I'm gonna save the children type of thing. And
Hysterical.
that's James Gunn. Did you pick
As the
up on that
demon?
as
Yeah.
the demon?
Yeah.
I forget what the demon's name is, or did it have a name? I
I
want
think
to
it
say he
did, but I
said
don't
it.
remember. Yeah, he did.
Demon's Will, maybe.
Demon's Will. That's it. Yeah.
Demon's Will, yeah, yeah. He just it's like he's almost like a prototype for Nightcrawler for the X-Men. The way they have him,
The whole tongue thing. The whole tongue thing.
Oh
has
yeah,
kept-
the tongue flicking thing that he does.
Yes. Like, what is going
Yeah,
on?
he is crazy in that, but it's crazy some of the small cameos we have in there, because again, some of our big name guys and gals, they're
Mhm.
playing very small roles.
Mm-hmm.
This was a fun one. I didn't know this until I was doing a little bit of homework.
Mm-hmm.
The voice of God, because we talked about how God kind of taps Frank.
Yep.
He gets the divine inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Guess who's voicing God?
Who is it?
Rob Zombie. How about that?
That's hysterical.
Is that ironic?
That is
Yeah.
ironic. Of all
Rob
people.
Zombie, Rob Zombie as the voice of God. There you go.
One caught me by surprise. I actually had to rewind a little bit. I said rewind, but I just dated my age. But anyway, I had to go back to catch it because it happens really quick. William Catt.
Yeah.
At first, I was like, "Was that William Catt?" I had to go back and watch it again. Holy crap, it is!
Yeah. I'm telling you, man. This one. It's worth a rewatch just to try and spot all the cameos.
Yeah.
And again, how's James Gunn doing this? Because this is his debut film.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of thinking like, why is everyone just showing up on set to do small roles for James Gunn at a time when he's not James Gunn? I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Kevin Bacon.
Mm-hmm.
Is this like the coolest, most easygoing villain you've ever seen in a superhero movie?
He really is. One of the scenes that I laughed hysterically was when Frank confronted him and he like hit his car. He goes, "Don't touch my car." And he goes and slowly touches the car again with his finger. He goes, Don't.
Well, let's back up for a second, because like we're introduced to him. He just shows up at the door, the screen door. He's like, "Hey, how's it going?" Which is, he's super friendly, but it's really creepy how he is in his black leather jacket.
Friendly. Yeah.
Yeah. Frank's just sitting there making eggs. He's like, "Are those eggs? Can I have some?" And like you said, Frank's been bullied his whole life, so he doesn't know how to stand up to people or say no.
Right.
So you get this awkward breakfast between, Rainn Wilson and Kevin Bacon.
Are these brown eggs? These are the most delicious eggs I've ever had.
Yeah, he's so delightful as a villain. And then he's like, "Yeah, tell your wife I stopped by."
Yeah.
And it's like, and then like the next scene, like she's gone, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's in over her head. Now she's with Kevin Bacon, and he completely loses it. But that scene where he goes running up and he's like banging on Kevin Bacon's car, and that's where we finally get a little hint of the villainy. He's like, "Look, I'm gonna give you one last chance. Don't touch my effing car like that ever again." And he just puts like one finger, his index finger. He's like, "I'm telling you, that's it. That's the last one." And he does it again. And then he's like, "Okay, that's not the kind of touching I meant. You know that."
I'm gone. I'm leaving.
I'm gone. I'm out of here. I'm leaving. But I love that moment for Rainn Wilson's character, Frank, because that's where he's starting. Like, I feel like the Crimson Bolt is born in that moment, because he is defiant. He stands up, right?
Yep, exactly.
Can we talk about the weirdest divine inspiration scene in any movie probably ever filmed, because this movie, I mean, first off, I love the opening, with the animation, the anime. Whenever you get an animated
that was
opening,
neat.
they're always fun, right? So that kind of puts you in a fun. It's weird because it tricks you, because like you're like, oh, this is gonna be fun. I'm gonna laugh the whole time, and it's gonna be like a funny superhero movie. And then we go dark,
because violent in that animation.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's violent, but it's like Looney Tunes. Like, oh yeah, that's funny. That guy's head exploded, but I'm laughing because it's a cartoon. And then we go dark, and we're gonna see that on screen. But
right,
this scene, man, it's just strange.
I know. It's just,
you got like the tentacles like sawing open his head, and then God's like,
and I think that relates back to the anime porn that he was watching on TV.
Yeah,
with the tentacles, and then what was that? What?
I don't know what kind of cable package he has, but he goes from like the All Jesus Network to like that anime pornography stuff. There's some other movies that I wanted to kind of deep dive and figure out what some of those other movies were.
Yeah.
I think one of them was a trauma movie, if I'm not mistaken.
Could be.
And it would make sense when I get into James Gunn's background. I'll talk about the trauma connection. But
okay.
I love the moment that when he's back at the comic book store, because he gets the inspiration. I need to fight crime.
Mm-hmm.
And he's such a novice. He goes straight to the comic book store where Libby is like behind the counter working. And he's like, I need the Holy Avenger. And she, has some choice words for the Holy Avenger comic. And, then
of course,
but starts educating him. Right. You want to read this, you want to read that. But I love the line that Libby has, because it where he gets he has the weird dream, the divine inspiration dream.
Mm-hmm.
Then he has the moment, the moment of clarity, if you will, because Libby's like, I always wonder, like, why doesn't anyone just become a real superhero?
Right.
Like, why doesn't it happen? And then like Frank says, all it takes is the choice to fight evil.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that moment, because we've seen it in like other movies, Boondock Saints, Kick-Ass, like the question is always asked. That's why, we that's why I asked you, like, what would it take? Why doesn't it happen? I love that moment though.
It's a good moment.
Let's talk about his, he goes through the whole homemade costume trope, which is fun
himself. Yep. Yeah.
But I love when he's trying out different catchphrases. Shut up, crime. That has got to be one of the best catchphrases for a vigilante ever, right?
Yep.
Man,
it just leads to his awkwardness, man. It was just perfect for who he is.
Yeah, but then he goes out, he tries.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't go very well for him.
Doesn't go very well, because he's just a guy who pulls up in his his beat up car. And waits and tries to stop a drug dealer. He kind of gets his ass handed to him,
and doesn't really think ahead. He does mention it later on towards the end of the movie about his license plate on the car. I mean, that's not a very good move, man.
Yeah, the Boltmobile. Yeah. Well, like, he goes out, he tries. It's back to the drawing board. He's back to the comic book store. What about heroes without powers? They need weapons. And again, Libby is like his instructor, like, Batman, batarangs, and the utility belt. He's like, ooh, utility belt. I like that. I think Green Arrow, or has a bow and arrow, like,
Then Captain America. Oh, no, he's got powers. Put that away. Put that away.
He's a super soldier, so that doesn't count. So it doesn't count, because now Libby is invested in this guy. Like, you're building your own hero. Like, what's going on?
Right.
And he ends up settling on a pipe wrench, a steel pipe wrench. You can buy at the Home Depot. It just goes out and starts beating the shit out of people. I
still think one of the funniest moments in this movie that made me laugh. There's a bunch of moments in this movie that will make you laugh. One of them that really got me was when he was hiding behind the dumpster for the first time, and he was like narrating stuff that was going on. And he goes out real quick because he heard something. And he comes back and goes, "It was just a box. The wind was pushing it down the street. I will get it later. I just didn't want to expose my position."
Yeah. He's just hanging out behind a dumpster. Yeah. this movie has a lot of fun moments, I think. Uh, but again, like the first time he hits someone with that wrench,
Oh my gosh.
and then you see it, you're like, whoa. I mean, the guy's selling pot, or I don't know what he was selling, but Thai stick or whatever
Right.
he says. But you're like, whoa, dude, that's a little excessive. But then like the guy that's trying to molest the little kid,
Yep.
then you're happy. You're like, yeah, beat the, take that guy's head off.
Right.
Then you're excited about it. But
He gets
again,
out of control though.
Frank, yeah, this because he's a shattered person,
Mhm.
and he's clearly like they keep interviewing the cop on TV, and the guy's like, we're talking about a psychopath, and you can quickly go from beating people up to murdering people quickly, and we see that because
Yeah.
now he's just standing in line waiting to get into a movie theater, and people cut in front of him, and he's like,
he goes and changes in the car.
yeah, he tries to do the right thing by saying, hey man, you can't cut, no button into line, and the guy tells him to F off basically. Then he has that awkward change. His car's parked right across the street. He has that awkward change, comes right out and bashes that guy. It's like, where I'm not gonna lie, part of me, because Dave, you and I have been going to movies together for 20 years now.
Yeah.
And we've been in some theaters where you got people talking, or you got people being annoying. And some people, you want to, they don't listen to being, you shush them. They don't, they're not going to respond to that. I'm telling you, part of me was kind of smiling with that guy, the rude movie patron gets what's coming to him with the wrench. So it's like, yeah, that's
well, then he took out the girl too with it.
Well, yeah, she got in the way, and then he smashes her in the face, and I'm like, dude, you've gone too far now. It's
right.
Yeah, but he going too far. He tries to, now he gets hurt, right? He gets shot. He goes to Libby, reveals his identity because Libby's on to Frank quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Libby goes to him at where he's a fry cook and asks the question, are you him? It's cool if you are, because Libby is eating up the superhero thing, right?
Right.
How ridiculous was Libby's audition? Like he just
what is that? One of the most awkward auditions I've ever seen in my life.
Libby finishes up. I like that Frank just with a questioning tone goes, cartwheels? It's okay. What just wants to be the kid sidekick,
Yeah.
How old are you? I'm 22, but still, compared to you, I'm a kid. So it's just it's a wild film, man. Absolutely wild.
It's all over the place.
Yeah. I feel like Gunn does a good job of the minute you get comfortable laughing, then he kind of throws something at you that makes you like, oh dude, that's not cool.
Yeah. The very awkward sex scene between Libby and Frank. You know what I'm talking about. That is where I'm talking uncomfortable. And
that one was really uncomfortable.
Yes, it was. And then he goes and throws up in the toilet, and then you get to see his puke become what? Was it the face of Sarah, I think?
Yeah. It was
just like, oh my God, just so awkward.
The film is weird. It just is.
Yeah.
We were talking about Kevin Bacon and how easygoing he is.
Are
you aware he was not the first choice for Jacques?
No, who was supposed to be Jacques?
Surprisingly, Jean-Claude Van Damme was
Really?
originally cast. Yeah. Van Damme is originally cast in this movie.
I can see that.
Totally. You could totally see it, right?
Yes, absolutely.
He would have been menacing.
He would have.
Yeah, but right up until it was time to shoot, he kind of went AWOL. No one could get a hold of him. And James Gunn, like they're ready to shoot, and he basically decides like I can't trust this guy. I can't count on him.
No, you can't have that. Not making a movie.
Kevin Bacon stepped in a week before he had to be on set at the very last minute. So
good job, Kevin.
Much like you swooped in today, Kevin Bacon swoops in to play Jacques. Yeah, and I have to imagine there's other casting what ifs possibly, but before we talk about any of that, let's talk a little bit about the production of this movie.
Yeah, absolutely. $2.5 million budget. Unfortunately, it only earned $422,000 worldwide.
Oh, ouch.
So not very successful at the box office. But when it did come out for streaming and DVD sales, it picked up a lot of sales there with that. So get that cult following going, which a lot of movies like this usually do.
Would you call this a cult movie?
I would. Yeah.
I would too, right? Because
Yeah.
I didn't see it at the theater. I heard about it and I was like, "Ooh, let me check it out."
Well, the only reason I watched it is because you asked me to do the podcast, and I was like, okay, there we go. Now I
go.
consider it like one of those unusual movies that I'll go back to.
All right.
Super was filmed between December of 2009 and January of 2010 in Shreveport, Louisiana, of all places. Jeff,
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Real quick, I don't want to cut you off, but you know what
Mhm.
also is awesome about Louisiana?
No, what
That's where James Buckley comes from.
is it really?
Our patron who has made this episode possible. Yeah.
Are you serious?
I cannot. I'm not making it up.
What are the chances
I don't
of that?
know.
Honestly,
You're just like, yeah, I was in Louisiana. I was like, what? Wait, I know this guy's in Louisiana. Like, that was not intentional, by the way.
that's crazy.
What
Well,
a coincidence. All right.
There you go again,
Sorry,
James.
please-
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah. Once again, James, thank you.
Yeah.
Please continue, Dave. Sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's cool. Additional shooting was done at director James Gunn's home in LA, California. And the comic book store that we see in the movie is actually a real store called Comic Smash in Studio City, which I think is a really neat place to go visit now. Jeff, hint, hint.
Wait, Studio City in Louisiana?
Studio City, California. Right?
Okay,
Yeah.
I've been to that. I've been to that store.
Oh, you have? Then you've been to
Yeah, you're talking about Studio City. Yeah,
yes.
I've been to Comic Smash.
That's the comic book store that you see in Super.
Holy cow.
Yeah, isn't that neat?
I'd never even thought about that.
Well, there you go.
I went there with Brad years ago. You know,
No, see, you didn't even know you were on a location.
I gotta do some fact checking. I might be in the background of that scene.
You never know. You
never know.
Yeah.
Me and Economos.
James Gunn started writing this in 2002, but clearly struggled to get it made because, well, we've talked about the violence in this movie, and a lot of people didn't want to touch it because of that. Jeff, I don't know if you know this or not, but did you know Frank was supposed to be played by John C. Reilly?
Okay, so I didn't see that.
Mhm.
I was all excited about. I'm going to let everyone know about Van Damme. But you're saying so? John C. Reilly's the original.
Yeah. James Gunn
Nice.
wanted John C. Reilly to play it. He was writing it for him, but apparently John C. Reilly wasn't a big enough name at the time. So that's kind of why they went with Rainn Wilson in that role.
Really, because I'm thinking John C. Reilly. This movie comes out in 2011.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, he's already done Step Brothers.
Yeah, he's a big name.
I think he's done Talladega Nights, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's done Boogie Nights? I know for a fact. How do the studios not see him as a big enough name?
That's a good question.
That's
I
weird.
don't
And
know.
not that I'm not wanting Rainn Wilson in this role, but
Yeah.
that's kind of strange.
Well, I think part of it was when he was writing the movie, he wanted to bring this out sooner than the 2010 that we got. So maybe it was before those movies came out because he struggled to get it made because of the violence and stuff. Nobody wanted to touch it. So I think some of it was that. But Gunn, his ex-wife, Jenna Fisher, who, as we all know, was in the office with Rainn Wilson. She recommended Rainn Wilson for the role of Frank. So James Gunn, she gave him the script. He liked it and, became the part of Frank. But he also brought on Elliot Page because they were together in Juno.
Oh, that's right. Rainn Wilson was in Juno.
Yep.
Okay. That's an interesting way. That's an interesting connection. So studio says no to John C. Reilly.
Mm-hmm.
His ex-wife, Jenna Fisher, who he's still friendly with, she's been in a couple of his movies.
Right.
So she recommends Rainn Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Rainn Wilson recommends Elliot Page.
Yep.
Wonder who recommended Economos.
That's a good question. I would like to know.
I'm not going to leave Steve Agee alone probably today. I love that guy. I just love I love the character in Peacemaker. So
absolutely.
I know you kind of alluded to what you'd say. You were saying like your favorite scene.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I want to talk about let's talk about the pivotal scene in this film. I'm not going to ask you what you like, what you don't like, what your favorite scene was. I want to know, David, is there one scene in this film that you think is pivotal to its success, or pivotal to telling the story? Like, is there one moment where you're like, you know what, without that scene, this film doesn't work?
For me, and I alluded to this toward the beginning of the podcast, it's the ending. How you're going to bring this movie to a closure is huge in any movie, because it's going to make you realize I've invested all this time into these characters, and if you don't give me the ending that I want, it's going to just ruin the whole thing for me. For this, I was getting to the point where Frank was just bothering me. He was pissing me off because he was this, he was just going around beating people. He was wanting to be a superhero, but at some point he wasn't a superhero. And then I understand what he was trying to do. He was wanting to get his wife, Sarah, back. But what I loved about this script, and I loved about this movie, and I appreciate where James Gunn went with it. The fact that he gets Sarah back only for Sarah to leave him again. And to me, that built his character into this. He did all of this to prove to himself that him and Sarah weren't to be together, but he's a real superhero because he was sacrificing himself for somebody else. She went on to become a better person. She went on to have a family. She went on to have kids, a husband. And if he hadn't done what he did, none of that would have happened for Sarah. And to me, that was pivotal for the entire movie and made me appreciate Frank more, because he ended the story pretty much where he began, alone, but went out of his way to take care of someone.
I agree with you 100%. This might be one of the most emotionally satisfying endings to a movie that doesn't have the quote unquote happy ending.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Because he does save her life. And I'm not saying, and yeah, technically he saves her life from the bad guys, but he saves her life because he gives her the opportunity to have the life that she should have always had.
Exactly.
So I absolutely love that. I love the fact, the movie kind of, they do this great bookend thing with the pictures on the wall. You talked about his two favorite moments. The day he married Sarah and the day he helped a police officer catch a bad guy.
Yep.
He draws almost like a child would. He draws the picture and he puts them on the wall. And it's like his daily affirmation, right? He's like, I will look at these and I will start my days off great, knowing that this is the best I ever did. And now when we come to the ending, it's Sarah's children who know him as Uncle Frank, and he's getting the photo. He's getting their handmade drawings, their crayon drawings, and he's seeing all this other nice moments that he did, like where he's just helping people at work, and he's friendly moments between him and other people, and you see that Frank has had the opportunity to grow as a person. Now he's not socially awkward. He's out there living his best life, and it's not with her, but it's still pretty damn good.
Yeah,
because this is a character that, it's odd because, like you said, he is right back where he started, but he's back where he started, but he also, it's almost like hitting the reset button because he now is a better person. He's stronger and he's happier. Right?
Yep.
I love that moment.
Me too. That changed the whole movie for me. It really did.
Did you grow up with a lack of parental supervision? Do you know all the lyrics to The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Remember Mayor McCheese and the Fry Guys? Have an inexplicable love for the California Raisins? Can you remember Madonna's original face?
Then you might be a part of the Doom generation.
Laugh until you cry with us each week as we stumble blindly through the memories of the movies
and other random things
that doomed us to be the salty, sarcastic, sardonic ladies you want to hang with.
You know us, you love us, you can't fucking live without us.
Doom Generation, available everywhere you find podcasts.
Hey, this is Jason Colvin of the Surely You Can't Be Serious podcast. On our podcast, James D. Graves and I, we break down movies of the 80s, 90s, even the 70s, and also music. We go track by track through albums. If you were an MTV watcher in the early 80s, you will definitely love our podcast. And if you enjoyed what I've said on this podcast, you definitely want to go over to the Film By Patreon page, because I'm coming back and we're going to do some great episodes over there.
Welcome back, everybody. So, Jeff, we know this is directed by James Gunn. What can you tell us about him?
Dave, what can I not tell you about James Francis Gunn Jr.? I'll try to be as brief as possible because, man, I mean, we're not talking about someone that's been on the scene for 40, 50 years, but there is a lot to talk about. So buckle up. I will tell you this. He is from a big family from St. Louis, Missouri. At age 12, like a lot of directors we've talked about, he begins making movies on 8mm with his brothers in the genre of comedic splatter, which if you think about his work, that makes perfect sense, right?
Yeah.
Because he was actually inspired by Night of the Living Dead, Friday the 13th, and Fangoria magazine.
Nice.
He's
awesome.
Us, right?
Yeah, he is us.
Yeah. So the crazy thing here is he drops out of St. Louis University High College Preparatory School to pursue a career in rock and roll.
Really?
Right.
Interesting. Okay.
Yep, he forms a band called the Icons. He's the lead singer. They release an album in 1994 called "Mom, We Like It Here on Earth." Now, I can't tell you 2 singles off of that album end up in Trauma movies. We'll have to
there's
talk
the connection.
There's another connection. We'll have to talk to Dayton Johnson at Docking Bay 77 to see if we can get an album review of "Mom, We Like It Here on Earth." So Dayton, if you're listening, please help us out with that.
Yeah, get on that, Dayton.
Now he does eventually return to school, receives his BA. After college, he's doing odd jobs here and there before interviewing for a summer job at Troma Studios to file paperwork. And guess what, Dave? He doesn't file paperwork. He gets paid $150 to write his first script, Tromeo and Juliet. So
I didn't know he wrote that.
Yeah. Have you seen that one?
No, I've heard of it, but
it is weird, dude. I mean, well, we're talking about Troma movies. So to say it's weird that's like saying, well, yeah, it's a movie. It's that's all their stuff.
Yeah.
The cool thing here is that he actually befriends Lloyd Kaufman, who we know who that is. You can't talk about Troma without talking about Lloyd Kaufman.
Yep.
But Lloyd actually becomes his mentor in a way. And while working with Lloyd Kaufman, James Gunn learns how to write screenplays, scout locations, direct, produce, create his own poster artwork. I mean, he's getting a film school education from Lloyd Kaufman, basically.
That's impressive.
Yeah. And together they write the book, All I Need to Know About Filmmaking I Learned from the Toxic Avenger. So we got to put that on the shopping list.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. Now he's got, he's kind of got experience. He writes a script for Warner Brothers. Do you remember the Mad Magazine, the Spy versus Spy?
Yeah, I sure do.
Cartoons. So he writes Spy versus Spy for Warner Brothers. They pass on it, but like what they see. So that instead they hire him to write Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, I knew he wrote Scooby-Doo. Yeah.
After Scooby-Doo, obviously he goes on to write both the Dawn of the Dead remake and Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed. Now, this is impressive because this makes him the first screenwriter in the history of cinema to write back-to-back number 1 at the box office hits. So think about that. Dawn of the Dead comes out, number 1 at the box office. I remember you and I went and saw it.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was awesome.
Yes,
right?
It was.
A week later, new number 1 movie at the box office, Scooby-Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed.
Dang, James Gunn. You got it going on, man.
He does. And basically it's at this point, now he's arrived. He can make a movie if he wants. He's going to direct something. And before we get into his filmography, let's just talk about 2 other accolades. You kind of mentioned this before, but he marries Jenna Fisher in 2000. The adorable Pam Beasley. They're married, great relationship. It only lasts 7 years. It ends on good terms. And now he's currently married to Jennifer Holland, impressive actress who we know and love in the Peacemaker series.
Yep.
Where she plays Harcourt.
Mm-hmm.
Co-starring Steve Agee as Economos. I can't get away from that guy. Dave, you want to talk a little bit about this filmography? Because
yeah, let's talk about it.
It's not a long one by any stretch of the imagination, but it is quite impressive.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about the writing, the screenwriting he did with Romeo and Juliet and Scooby-Doo, Dawn of the Dead. 2006, the monster movie Slither.
Mm-hmm. This is that's a very unusual movie too. I remember Nathan Fillion plays in that too, doesn't he?
Yeah, you got Nathan Fillion as the police chief. Elizabeth Banks, she's in it. Michael Rooker playing the main villain. Who, the weird thing is with Michael Rooker, because I know we've already talked about him. I feel like somewhere in the 90s, he goes from playing hero or like cool guy,
right?
Think Cliffhanger, Days of Thunder, Tombstone. Somewhere along the lines, when he started shaving his head, he just became a bad guy. Like,
it's the hair, man.
Is it if you get Michael Rooker with a shaved head, he's immediately a bad guy. Think about it. Mallrats, Slither. He's always I don't know.
Crap. What's that say about us?
We look villainous.
We look villainous, yeah.
No, but Jenna Fisher, she's in Slither. I love Slither because it is a good old fashioned monster movie.
Yeah, it's great.
It reminds me also. We talked on the 1986 series. I talked with Jason Colvin from Surely You Can't Be Serious podcast about Night of the Creeps, and this is that similar thing. You get these like slimy slug things from outer space.
Yep.
Crash land on Earth, and small town America, and they're running rampant. Disgusting though. Again, Gunn does not hold back on the gore in Slither,
and he shouldn't.
I love it though.
It's his style. I like it.
Yeah, definitely shouldn't, because it's got its comedic moments too. But if you've not seen Slither, that is fantastic.
Yep.
4 years later, he's writes, directs Super. We've been talking about that. He has built up a name for himself. Obviously, when it comes to screenwriting, he's a hit maker, and that's when 2014 the MCU comes knocking,
and his career really takes off.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep.
I'm going to ask you, because Dave, I know you're an avid comic book reader, just like James Gunn and just like myself. Were you aware of Guardians? Because I know we're talking like at this point they're I don't even know if they're C level characters,
right?
I think I vaguely remembered them in like a team up, but that I couldn't have told you anyone, because I remember when Guardians comes out, I was like, I don't know if this is going to work.
I was the same way, Jeff. I didn't know anything about it, because I remember when it was being announced, I was like, what? Who? I don't know this comic book. And then when the trailer came out, I'm like, oh, this actually looks pretty fun. And sure enough, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy, the 10th film in the MCU, and man, at a time where people are starting to go, Marvel's getting a little bit, the formula's getting a little old. This completely changes the game, right?
Oh, it was fresh. All new characters we've never seen, a new story. Absolutely. Yeah.
I loved it. Something 2 years later, 2016, he doesn't direct this, but he does write it and produce it. Did you ever see the Belko Experiment?
No, I've not seen that.
You got to check this one out. Aside from the fact that it's a really cool horror film, it's this weird, it's like a social experiment that goes horribly wrong. So you're in an office building where it's almost like Jigsaw from Saw is in charge. It's like a corporate setting, and these employees get locked into their high-rise building.
I remember this trailer.
A voice basically comes on and says, no, not everyone's getting out alive. So it's almost like it's like a battle royale type of situation where here's the weapons, and if you don't start killing each other, everyone dies. Like they have to make choices. It's crazy. Michael Rooker is in it. Michael Rooker, I think, if I remember right, he plays like a maintenance guy, I think.
Of course he does.
It is wild though. Sean Gunn's in it. I can tell you that.
Of course he is too.
Yeah, of course he is. But It's a really cool thriller. It's a fun horror film. I would definitely put it on your radar because
Okay.
it's cool.
I will.
You'll like it. I promise you.
Okay.
Back to Marvel, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Mm-hmm.
Kurt Russell, who we love,
Oh yeah.
but not a lot of
Okay.
people loved Volume 2.
I did.
Now, I did. So
Mhm.
did you ever understand like where people were like, it wasn't as good? Like, are they just being superhero snobs or
I think so because I enjoyed that movie a lot. I don't know where they're coming from on that. It had a lot of
I don't
emotion, it had a lot of heart, and it had a lot of comedy, and I was very entertained.
It did, and that's the one that kind of gives us like that's where Drax kind of takes the comedic route,
Mhm.
with his like "I'm so still you can't see me"
Yeah,
thing. I don't know, I loved it.
I did too.
Rocket's coming into his own. I think
Mhm.
it's a fantastic film. I
Yep.
loved it.
Same here.
So right after this, he does what might be one of the coolest superhero films that you don't know is a superhero film. Now
Mhm.
he didn't direct again, Dave. I'm cheating a little bit because he didn't direct it.
Okay.
But he did produce this one, and I think he had his hands were in it a little bit. I'm talking about a film called Brightburn.
Oh, I forgot about that one. Yeah.
Did you see that?
I
Remember,
did.
it's the idea, the synopsis, if you will. It's what if Superman landed on Earth
Mhm.
and wasn't good, wasn't a nice guy. It's all about Elizabeth Banks,
Mhm.
who who was in Slither. Her and her husband, like they're farmers. The meteorite crashes, very much Superman like.
Oh yeah.
They there's a baby inside. Hey, it's our child, and then as this kid grows up, he gets strong, he gets these powers, but he's a little
Evil?
dark. Yeah, well, it's yeah, he doesn't understand. Like it's like he's got that childlike mentality of like I want something,
Mhm.
and if I want it, why can't I have it? But the only thing is, where your normal 12-year-old, like you can ground and send him to the room, this kid can like burn your skull open with lasers shooting out of his eyes. So
Right.
it's really creepy, man. But really cool. I love
Mhm.
Brightburn. It's one of those, great superhero film that you don't know is a superhero film.
Yeah.
Loved it. Well, it sounds like you loved it too.
I did. Yep.
In 2021, though, he goes back to the, I shouldn't say the lighter side of superhero,
The other
of the
side?
superhero world, but he does go to the other side
Yeah.
with the DC extended universe. Does the Suicide Squad? What'd you
Mhm.
think of that?
A lot of fun. I know they had done a Suicide Squad before, which
Yep.
wasn't that good. This one was much, much better. And of course, with James Gunn in control, that's why it turned out as good as it did. I had a lot
Yeah.
of fun with this movie.
I'm one of the few people that's willing to admit that the first Suicide Squad, I
Mhm.
liked it. I enjoyed it. It had its major mistakes, but it also had some really cool stuff in it.
Yep.
But James Gunn taking his version, and this is where DC is smart and James Gunn is brilliant because it's not a remake.
Nope.
It's a continuation.
Right.
So the first one counts. The first one is in canon, and he finds a way to make it his own thing,
Mm-hmm.
keeping a couple of the characters from the first movie, holds them over.
Yep.
It introduces us to a whole new cast of incredibly awesome characters. Definitely looking at you, Sly Stallone, with King Shark.
and
I
he
loved
gets
it.
his. Oh, I did too. I did too.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I loved it.
And James
Yeah.
Gunn gets his taste of DC, and we know where that's going.
Oh, we do. And ironically, we were just talking remember how I said Guardians of the Galaxy was the 10th movie for the MCU?
Yep.
James Gunn's The Suicide Squad is the 10th movie for the DC extended universe.
Hmm.
So
All right.
coincidence? Maybe.
Maybe not.
Maybe. So he's been busy. We've got Dave, we're just a couple days away
Mhm.
from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3
Can't wait.
hitting theaters. I am super excited for this one because that trailer,
Oh,
it looks like all bets are off. Like
Yeah.
you and I were talking when we first saw the trailer, like someone's not making it out of this. You
Yeah.
know, is it Peter? No, it's Drax. No, it's Rocket. Like the trailer, like whoever cut that trailer is brilliant because
Yeah.
you just don't know what to expect, right?
Right. Yeah, they hide it well, but it's definitely going to be an emotional roller coaster. You can see it's coming.
I think you're right. It looks so good. This is a great way for him to head out of the
Mhm.
MCU, right? Take his exit.
Yep.
Because we didn't really
Right.
talk about the holiday special. Do you want to talk about that real quick?
The one where we get Kevin Bacon in it, which I think is hysterical.
Yeah, that was. I like that Disney is doing stuff like that. Where
Mhm.
hey, it's gonna be a couple years before you see these guys together again. But here's something fun for you to hold you over.
Yeah.
When I first heard, wait, James Gunn's doing a Christmas special
Right.
for the Guardians of the Galaxy. That I don't know how that's gonna work, but I thought it was fun. I enjoyed it. You
It
know,
was.
and it got me excited for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Yep.
Until the trailer came out and then was like, oh wow, it's funny. Don't get me wrong. The trailer has some funny moments, especially between Nebula and Peter
Hmm.
in that elevator or wherever they're at. But for every moment that you want to laugh in the trailer, there's two moments where you're like, oh man, this doesn't look good.
Yeah. Oh crap! What's going to happen? I know.
Yeah. Speaking of what's gonna happen, we gotta talk about what's next on his plate.
Yeah. And you know what's up next on his plate? The big one.
Superman, yeah, Superman Legacy.
Yeah.
He is writing it, he's directing it,
Mhm.
he's producing it. So I'm going to ask you, Dave, because everyone immediately had an opinion. So, look, you know me, I'm one of the biggest Superman fans
I know.
out there.
Yep.
I love Christopher Reeve.
Oh yeah.
I have loved Henry Cavill
Mhm.
in
Same
the
here.
role.
Mhm.
Gunn, he gets the job over at DC. He's running the show now. He's going to kind of make they're kind of wiping the slate clean, so to speak, and
Yeah.
starting from scratch. And Henry Cavill does not fit into his Superman plans. So, immediately he starts a little bit of a backlash, but
Of course.
I'm going to say this. I get it. Like, you can't restart an entire franchise. You can't do a whole bunch of world building
Right.
where you're going to have like, 3, maybe 4 more Superman movies or 3, 4 more Superman appearances
Mm-hmm.
with a Superman that's not age appropriate.
Right.
And I say that meaning, at the time, like, let's just assume that, the next Superman movie is going to be a hit. Well, we're a good 5, 6 years away from the next one. And at
Mhm.
that point, Henry Cavill's going to be in his late 40s, I believe.
He's going to be too old for it.
Yeah. So I love his performance.
Mhm.
And
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think the mistake here wasn't in recasting. It was just in not moving forward with like an Elseworlds title
Mhm.
where we get one final Superman movie with Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
Kind of like, and they're doing this Elseworld stuff. Matt Reeves has the Batman,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's going on. Todd Phillips, he's got his Joker thing happening. We got a
Mhm.
new Joker movie coming out. I don't think it would have been out of line to have Henry Cavill give him his Ride Off into the Sunset film. Take one of the many numerous popular graphic novels
Yeah.
and do a Superman movie with Henry Cavill. One last one. I mean, could you imagine if we could have had Henry Cavill do like Red Sun?
Oh my goodness.
How great would that have been?
It would have been wonderful.
And then just quietly let's reboot with Superman Legacy. So
Yeah.
interesting enough, Superman Legacy. So James Gunn just recently, because he's pretty vocal on
Mhm.
social media, and he was talking about how the casting process is going with the film, and it's coming together. And he says he's excited and he's relieved. So again, this guy's track record with superhero movies, I trust him.
Yeah.
Dave, listen to this. Here's the official synopsis for Superman Legacy. Superman Legacy tells the story of Superman's journey to reconcile his Kryptonian heritage with his human upbringing as Clark Kent of Smallville, Kansas. He is the embodiment of truth, justice, in the American way, guided by human kindness in a world that sees kindness as old-fashioned. Now, I do know also, I think Gunn has been on record as saying, who is it? Grant Morrison that did All-Star Superman.
Mm-hmm.
He was heavily influenced by that story. So
Okay. Cool.
I think it's gonna be good. DC, they got their phase one, chapter one, Gods and Monsters. So we got this Superman Legacy kicking it off. We got a Batman and Robin movie. We got Swamp Thing. We got Supergirl. Whole bunch of shows. I'm hopeful at this point.
I am too. I just don't put all the blame on James Gunn, people who are out there. This is a Warner Brothers mess. James Gunn's going in here and trying to clean up, and I'm glad they finally have somebody who's in charge who is going to steer this ship, hopefully, in the right direction. I have faith in James Gunn. I really do. And I can't wait to see what he brings to us on screen for Superman. And just like you, Jeff, Christopher Reeve is always going to be the best Superman. No one is going to come close to him. Henry Cavill did an incredible job as Superman. And I'm going to struggle a little bit when we get the new actor. But again, I have faith in James Gunn.
Speaking of having faith in James Gunn, do you recommend that the listeners check out the film Super?
Absolutely. And one thing I would like to relate to this movie in some way or fashion, it relates to Eagle versus Shark in the quirkiness, the way it was shot, and the odd humor. It really feels like that to me.
You're right. Now that I'm thinking about it, there's moments I'm watching this. It does feel like Taika Waititi is behind the lens on this.
Yeah, it does.
There's moments I felt Kevin Smith was behind the lens. So
it's got a mixture of a lot of that. And you get that vibe when you're watching the movie. So yes, see this movie because
it does.
It's violent. It's got some humor. It's got some fun. But in the end, you're going to get a good message.
Not one that you want to watch with the kids. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Yeah.
But I say, yeah, absolutely check this one out. It's not your run of the mill superhero film.
Mm-hmm.
And I think part of that is what makes it so good.
I agree.
Dave, where'd you catch this one?
I saw it on Tubi. I had to watch a few commercials, but got to watch it for free and got to enjoy a good time.
Can I just give an unsolicited promo for Tubi right now?
Sure.
I am not a paid actor. I am not a paid voice actor, but I will tell you, I love Tubi.
Me too.
This man, it just blows my mind that it's free.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't have to be subscribing to anything. You just have to have it on your TV. That's it.
Yeah.
And
there's good stuff on there.
There's so much good. I mean, this is a situation where you can watch these underground, independent movies like Super.
Yeah.
They've got new stuff.
Yeah.
They've got the entire series of like Miami Vice and the A-Team. I don't care what show you want to watch.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably on Tubi.
Probably.
Yeah. Uncut movies. But like you said, you're gonna have some ad breaks occasionally, and I don't mind.
I don't either. Yep.
Who are we to question free content?
Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
All right. Well, listen. I think that's gonna do it for us. Dave. I know I'm gonna see you in just a few days because we're gonna be heading back to the box office.
We are indeed
to see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Are we gonna make time? We're gonna stop in the studio and give our listeners a review on that one. You think?
Absolutely, we are, Jeff.
I think we should.
Yep.
I feel like we got a little lazy. Well, it's not that's not the right way to say it, Dave. We've been busy. There's been so
busy.
much. There's been so much going on.
Yep.
But we've still been seeing some good movies. And we'll let you guys know what we think about Guardians of the Galaxy for sure.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Dave, I'm going to ask you before I let you go. I know you guys only have a few episodes left.
Yes,
but
sir.
I'm curious. What do you guys got next week? What are you guys doing on a film at 45?
Well, we're still going down the rabbit hole, you might say. With another animated classic from the 1978, which is Watership Down, Jeff.
I have not seen that since I was very young.
I'm sure it traumatized you, like a lot of us.
It did a little bit there.
Yeah.
Oh, man, you guys are going to cover that one. I can't. Yeah. Loved what you guys had to say about Lord of the Rings. Because, again, that was, as a kid, that's the cartoon I always remembered was, that and The Hobbit. And you guys were fantastic on that one as well. But I'm kind of excited because the next time on a film buy, we're going to talk about another blockbuster director, J.J. Abrams, and we're
Oh,
talking about one of your
yes.
favorite. We're talking about one of your favorite films, Dave.
Oh yeah, I love the movie we're going to be talking about. We know what that is, right?
Yeah, let them know.
Super 8.
Super 8, a film about young James Gunn making splatter comedies with an 8mm camera. No, it is not about James Gunn, but it is awesome, and we'll be talking about that one next time as well. So until then, see you next time.
See you next time.
I've had the voice of Burl Ives all freaking day. And the minute I hit the record button, I sound like Smeagol trying to cough up a piece of bone from a fish or something. It's ridiculous.
Ridiculous.